All right, so after about 2 months, we finally got our cards back from GameStop that we had sent off to PSA, and it's about time to see what we got.
All right, so first up, we got Charmander from Hidden Fates.
I think a lot of these we were pretty harsh when we sent these off for grading. So I think there was maybe like one or two that we kind of shot in the dark that it might get a 9, but we also did a little bit of testing because it's our first submission with PSA. So we're just trying to feel out like what we can, what's a 9 versus what's a 10 and how they go about grading specifically. So
yes, sir. Little Gem Mint 10.
It's a good way to start off the video. But yeah, like I said, a lot of the cards that we sent off, we were pretty strict our first go around and so forth. So I think a lot of these are, we're hoping that they get a 10, but we sent a couple maybes just to kind of see, not necessarily what we can get away with, but we wanted to make sure we weren't being too strict on ourselves as to what we can get. And this is another one of those cards that I think there was like a small print line or two that was on the back, and so. But I also think this card has also gone up a ton in value. I think we paid like $16 for it. And so I think it's right now like raw, it's like a $40 card, which is, even if it's a 9, I think at this point it's probably, we're not in the hole on the card. So if it comes back a 10, I think it's like a $200 card or $200 plus card. So it'd be pretty crazy. Going to true.
Another 10, boy. Let's go.
That's a big card. That's a
2
nice
for
card.
2.
Yes, sir.
To start. Metagross. All right. Next up.
We got next. Oh, this is a big one.
Whew, the Vaporeon
from Terrestrial Festival, which is, I think we were pretty solid.
Yeah,
this was like a 9.
This was a minty card. This we got on. We pulled off a Whatnot stream, didn't we?
Yeah,
we
bought like 5 packs off of a rip and ship, and
yeah,
this was one of like the first cards we pulled. So hopefully it's a 10.
Let's see how we do.
Oh,
no way! What?
That's kind of a shocker, man.
Wow.
We were pretty solid and set. I don't know if it's off-centered or what, or if they're just like gatekeeping.
I mean, okay, I'm looking at it.
Definitely not bad. I mean, it would be nice to get her a 10 on that one, but
yeah,
I can't be upset. Because I think even still, I think that's like a $70 or an $80 card. So I think we're still in the
first
green
of our
on
9
that.
pile.
Yeah, hopefully not many.
I know. All right, let's see. The Zamazenta. So this is there was a print line or something?
Was this one we were iffy on? I know the Metagross was definitely iffy.
I think we were iffy on this one.
I had notes on my phone, but I think I went back and looked at it the other day because I was curious to see which ones we did send. But
oh yeah,
so maybe this one was that we thought was.
I'm pretty sure there was a print line on the back. You might not be able to see it, but if I'm not mistaken, there was one.
Okay, if that's the case, then I'm not too heartbroken about this one.
Yeah.
2 and 2. Let's see if the 10s outweigh the 9s here.
Darkrai.
Oh, see, this is the other card we were just talking about.
Yeah.
I think if you look on the back, the centering was like crooked, like not necessarily off-centered, but crooked in a way. It was pretty weird.
Yeah. You can kind of see it left to right.
But like I said, I think I was watching another PSA return, and somebody had the same issue on the same exact card, and it came back at 10. Let's see if it's 10.
Let's go, baby. Oh man.
W's.
Yeah, I mean it was mainly that. It was just the back.
It was just the back.
It was slightly crooked.
Everything else was like perfect on the card, so I'm glad I got a 10.
All right, next up. All right, this one means a lot to me because this was the first card that I had pulled from. But
I think it was on one of the the big.
The first day we bought like a bunch of packs and we're like, all right, let's see what happens.
This is what got you hooked.
Yeah, right. This what got me buying packs, but let's see. This was minty though.
It was for a pack fresh card. It was extremely minty.
So
we're expecting a 10 on this.
We'll find out. Oh,
let's go. That's
expected. That was a
heartbreaker card. If it wasn't a 10.
Yeah, that would have been.
That's nice. That's a nice card in a 10 though. I think it's like $180 or something like that. We'll put it up on screen though, but definitely a nice card to see it in 10 for sure.
Yeah, beautiful. Next up, Charizard.
Nice. This is one of those ones that we kind of bought when we first started everything, and it was just kind of like a cheaper card. I think it was like $5 we purchased on eBay. But not a bad card in a 10. It's Charizard. Everybody loves Charizard, so I think it's another like $40 card in PSA 10. So Japanese is always good print quality. So hopefully it goes back at 10 as well.
Easy, easy 10s.
Let's go.
It was not easy. This was a very.
This was a stressful process.
This was a
for
very
our first
stressful
return,
process.
especially 2 months.
Oh man.
It was a little bit stressful waiting on it.
All right, so this is the Glaceon.
This was another card that we thought was super clean.
Little Crown Zenith.
We threw it up on our Instagram, which go check that out if you haven't.
Facts. I put this in the snow, and you had to text me and be like, "Yo, be careful with that."
It's like, this is going to GameStop like tomorrow.
Right. Oh, that was so funny. All right, so let's see what we got. Another 10.
Easy.
Glaceon V-Star.
Yeah, like I said, a lot of these we kind of
just
we expected the 10s, and so I think we also sent some other cards off to Tag, and so that we were a little iffy on, but since Tag gives like a full report, I'm kind of curious. Obviously, they probably have some different criteria as to what's a 10 and stuff like that, and certain aspects, but I think probably next submission to PSA, we might send a little bit more cards that have maybe like smaller print lines, not ones that are like super obvious and go all the way across.
Right.
But I want to maybe not get as harsh as what we did with these 13. You know, take some flyers on some, but just want to get some more volume going. With these grading companies for sure.
Let's see. Another 10.
Easy.
This one with the one that we sent to Tag was kind of iffy, right? The Zero Aura.
I don't know. We made notes on our Excel sheet.
So let us know if you want to see a video of us kind of comparing the Tag grades with some of the PSA grades, and we'll kind of throw that up.
This was another eBay purchase that we thought was super clean. There was not a lot of sales on this, but
yeah.
I think for what we paid for it in the last couple sales, like $50 or $60. So
yeah.
Another one of those low end cards that looks super clean.
Another 10 Machamp. Let's go.
Easy. This 10 stack looking.
I know.
Nice compared to this 9 stack.
That's what I'm saying.
Can't complain.
All right, 3 left.
We doing a little something.
Little Samurai V.
From Crown Zenith. That was one of the things we did focus on, a lot of Crown Zenith cards. That was definitely, I think, one of the best sets to come out in a very long time from.
Yeah, amazing artwork.
Another
10.
Let's go.
Samurai V. Whew. Little Iron Hands. This is terrestrial, right?
Yeah, this was another one of those whatnot, like rip and ships.
Rip and ship.
The same day as actually the Vaporeon, so we'll see. We'll see how this one goes.
Ooh.
Another 9.
Okay.
Dang.
We'll take that.
Can't complain. We got a lot of 10s, so.
Yeah, right. I don't remember if we had any notes for this one particularly. I could have sworn we thought this one's clean.
I think everything that we got from the Rep and Ship Day, and especially like terrestrial in general, and also being Japanese, we thought was pretty clean. I mean, maybe look at the back of it, because I think the backs we were kind of iffy about Japanese backs and like centering, so maybe it was a little off-centered.
Yeah.
But if there's a print line, you know, it's hard to see. I think it's hard to see print lines at this point, especially inside of a case, like a slab. So maybe some print lines, but I don't know. Who knows? I'm not mad at it. I mean, we're sitting at 3 9s out of 13 cards so far, or out of 13 total.
All right.
Last card. Ooh, little Ogre Pawn, Teal Mask.
Okay.
I think this is also from Terrestrial Festival.
Yep.
Well, this is another weird card. There's like one comp on eBay, and it's for like $200.
Yeah.
So, a 10, if it's actually selling at 200, would be kind of crazy.
Yep.
Hey,
there it is.
Let's go. Also,
which is interesting.
Card in general.
Yeah, and we would have gotten upcharged, right? If it comped at that. So I guess maybe it's not.
Yeah, but even still, like I'm curious on like if they like where PSA gets their comps at, because like I think that the Metagross specifically, I think it was like a $210 card or something. There's like sales that are in like that 210, 220 for that card, and so we didn't receive any upcharges, which was, so I mean, maybe if there's like, it's like depending on how borderline. I know like the insurance is up to like 200 card in value, and my understanding is like 200 above 200 is when you get upcharged, but it could be we just don't understand, you know, the upcharge. But
yeah.
I think 3 9s out of
which
13
is
cards. I mean, it's still
with
solid.
two knowing we were kind of.
But even still, what's crazy is this we were
Yeah, we were.
100%
Yeah,
a 10.
yeah, we were.
So I think the only iffy card we really sent, like these two were 100%, like we were confident was a 10. So really this is the only iffy card. I mean, I think we did pretty well, you know.
Yeah.
This was our first like true submission to any grading company. You know, really when we like kickstarted Pristine Card Company. So definitely nice to get this back. It's been definitely about 2 months.
Yeah.
So I'm not mad. I think that's about a 75% rate, 6%, almost 77%.
Yeah, I thought, I'm not gonna lie.
You were like 60%.
All right, I thought we were gonna be at like 60. I could have swore at least 1 or 2 more would have gotten a 9, just based on like it being our first time. We were kind of like, we had a couple that were kind of iffy, but I think looking back,
I feel like they were
I
very
feel
strict.
much better about like how strict we were and deciding what cards we were gonna send and what defects are enough or not enough.
Yeah, I definitely think the next thing that we send a PSA, I want to add a little bit more and, you know, give ourselves some detailed notes on what we may think is a 9 and why. But obviously we did pretty well with being, you know, as strict as we were, but also in the same sense, I want to see, are we being too strict or are we being strict enough? You know, if we're getting a lot more 9s on the next submission we send off to PSA, obviously we probably want to send another 20 cards. It'll be more of a batch, but I think a couple more cards that were a little, you know, I think print line, like small print lines, not necessarily like a ton of whitening on the corners. So I definitely feel like if there's 2 whitening imperfections on the corners, it's definitely a 9. Maybe like a small whitening, or like, I think a rule of thumb is like if there's 2 imperfections that you can see, I wouldn't even send it. But no, I think we did phenomenal. I think it's worth the wait, to say the least. So
definitely. All right, guys. So that wraps up our first PSA submission. Let us know in the comments how you think we did. I think we did great for our first submission.
For first submission, 75% is. Right. I feel like I'm to the moon with that.
Right, we killed it. So drop a like, drop a subscribe. Check us out on our socials, Instagram. We'll drop everything on the screen here. Give us a follow. Stay tuned as we got our Discord coming soon. We have our website coming soon. We'll be vending a few shows coming up here in Charlotte. On top of that, we'll be getting back our tag submission. Really appreciate you guys staying with us through this whole video. Appreciate you. Peace.
What's your percentage you think we're going to get on this first submission before we even send it off?
Percentage, probably about 60.
I'm going 75%. Mark my words.